All right, everybody, Bob the Vaping Computer Guy here. Today we're taking a look at the Innokin ARES, so-called mouth-to-lung tank by Phil and Dimitri. Got their little picture on there. Let's dive down to the table, and then I'll tell you what I think about this so-called mouth-to-lung tank. All right, today we're looking at what comes with the ARES RTA. This is said to be a mouth-to-lung device. I'm hearing otherwise. Mine came on a slow boat from China, so it took a while to get. This is designed by Phil Busardo and the VapingGreek. You should know who they are. If you don't, it doesn't matter. Let's just take a look at it. So it comes with a lot of stuff. I haven't vaped on it yet. Just been looking through the package. Let's take a look at the tank first, and we'll show you all the goodies that it comes with, which are now falling out all over the place. All right, let's take a look at the tank first. Zoom in a little bit here. So first thing I noticed when just opening it, all I did was open this up so far, is the machining is exceptional on here. Really, really nice machining on here. It is a 510 drip tip. Let's, come on, slide this way. Really nice. When you start sliding this, you just feel the machining, how exact it is on that right away. Bottom airflow here is, you got different size holes, right? Only on one side, and you just control it that way. All right, let's open her up. Let's take a look at that deck. If we focus there, as you can see, airflow in the center, single coil, Phillips head. All right, so your coil is going to go in this way. Your wicks are going to roll down into these holes. Glass is removable, but it's tight. I'm not going to pull it off. All right, really nice machining. That's just the first thing you got to say when you feel it. Just putting that in there is like no backing up to try and get the threads caught. It just really feels like they, you know, went through the extra steps of making sure the machining on here was perfect. All right, 5/10 protruding a little bit, not a whole lot. It says Aries on the bottom. Let's take a look at some of the other stuff it comes with. Well, that's an extra Phillips screw. Hey, look, a Phillips screw. No, that's a flathead screw. All right, so there's a whole lot of extra parts. So first off, you're going to get some round wire build coils. All right, I haven't popped these in yet, so we'll find out what the resistance is when I put them in there later on. You get some extra wire. Now I don't see, it does say. So you're getting pre-built 1 ohm coils, Canthol coils. You're getting a meter of 26 gauge Canthol wire, and you're getting some Japanese organic cotton. All right, those are the coils I'm going to certainly try in there. In here, so it's in this bag of goodies. As you can see, I have not even opened it yet. All right, so you got an extra glass. Now this is a smoked glass compared to the clear glass that it comes with. I'm going to keep with the clear glass. You get a whole lot of extra O-rings. You get an old style drip tip, okay, as mouth to lung vapors. You know, the old style, which I started with, we all use these kinds of drip tips, so they give you one of those as well. You got a bunch of extra O-rings. You got both green and white, so you can change them out, it looks like. All right, so you can have the green style or white style. Nice to change it up a little bit, be a little bit modern on there. You got extra screws. You got your Allen head key. And what is the Allen head key going to work on? Because if those were Phillips screws in there, let's see. So that's Phillips head. And the extra screws that it came with are flathead. So I'm not sure where you're going to be using those extra ones. We'll figure it out. Again, just started playing with this thing. Just started looking at it. All right. And they also get basically a coiling kit. You're going to get a fine Phillips screwdriver on this side. Flathead screwdriver on that side. You're going to get this, and it says on here, Phil's building tool. Phil's build tool. Okay, this one here looks like a 2.5 milliliter, 2.5 millimeter. There you go, 2.5 and a 3.0. So you can build your coils around that, and you also get this one for building spaced coils. Dimitri's building tool, or Dimmy's, because they couldn't fit the whole thing on there. Left and right, just depending on which way, I guess, the spiral is that you want. You can build spaced coils by going, obviously, in between the grooves of just like a screw. All right, so they're giving you both of these, which is really nice. Even if you use this for other things, for adjusting coils and so forth, it's just a nice tool to have, and it's great. So you got all three of those. All right, you got your tank. You got coils, cotton, and wire. You got your extra pack of the extra glass with all your extra O-rings. You got your extra drip tip. You got some extra screws. You got the Allen key, which I don't know what it's for yet, but you got all of that in there. Wrong way. I always do that, a 50-50 chance, and I always get it wrong. Next thing I'm going to do is build this, all right? So let's get this going. So I'm going to throw this on my Arctic Dolphin here, all right? Grab one of those single coils, 1 ohm coils that it comes with. This is a spaced Canthal coil. Really nice. Let's grab one of those, little screwdriver in there somewhere. All right. Open that up. Open the other side up. Yeah, all those alerts keep coming in. Let's lower that volume. In case you don't know, that's from the Discord room of My Vaporium. So you should check out myvaporium.net. It's a great spot that a lot of people hang out on just to talk vaping, learn about vaping, reviewers, non-reviewers, newbies. And that is the Discord room that we can chat in, that a lot of us hang out in, telling me people are talking. So I just turned it off so we don't have to listen to that anymore. But anyway, it's a nice place to hang out, check it out. So there's your coil. All right, you just drop her in there. I'm just curious to see how it's going to look. So looking at it there, if you just drop it in, it's right above the airflow. It's not touching, which is nice. I just wanted to make sure how that was going to sit. Now, of course, what you can do is use your coil jig there to hold it, get it in the right spot, and tighten that, which is wrong because it fell out. Let's put it back in there. Keep it centered. Give it a little turn. I'm not making it super tight. Make sure your coil is exactly the way you want it. There you go. Now I'll put that down and I'll give it an extra turn. It did move a little bit. We'll readjust it. Make it tight. Now you can take your jig there. Get it just right, however you want it. All right, looks pretty good. Let's get the clippers. I'm gonna throw a battery in this mod. Since this is a mouth-to-lung vape, we're going to be using low power on this. So, no problem there. I can use a lower amp battery. Power it on. Should ask me if it's a new coil. It's not. Let's lower the power. It reads it as a 0.93. Can you see that? Or is it gonna... It's gonna be too bright. Let's bring this down. It's a 1 ohm coil. We're going to bring this down to like 10 watts. Let's do a little bit of a dry burn here. And that Canthal coil. There we go, starting to heat up. Do a little bit of pulsing. Just enough to get that going. Let's get the... make sure it's where I want it. Looks nice and straight. roll the seam, roll the tip a little tight. In case you don't know, you want it snug. You want it where when you're moving it, the coil is just moving ever so slightly. You don't want the cotton to just roll right through. You don't want to damage your coil. Just enough that the coil has a little bit of resistance. All right, we're going to cut that. And what I'm going to do is I cut it extra long, much longer than I need at this point. All right, get tweezers. Comb it out a little bit. All right. Now, I want to cut the cotton, so it's going to come. Remember, you can always cut more, but you can't put back. So, if I cut it that long, and I drop it in a hole and I see how it's going to be in the wick hole, that's pretty good, right? You want it, I don't want it touching the bottom, but I don't want it higher than here because then juice can get through. I want just a little bit past it. See that? And cutting it, you know, on the first cut, getting it right is just practice. So once these are down, that's how it's going to be. Now, this is the biggest problem that I have with vaping, with coiling, with wicking. What juice do I use? So let me go find something. So I got some Pancake Man. We're going to wet our wicks. We don't have to soak them, but we have to get them enough that it's going to stay down. So let that soak in. A little bit right across the coil. Now, you can use your fingers, you can use your tweezers, and it may move a little bit now that it's wet, but basically we want it to be in the hole so that when we screw the top cap on, we can get to these threads without damaging anything else. Now, as you can see, this looks a little bit longer than I originally planned. There's no problem. There's plenty of room in here to cut it, trim it a little bit more. All right. Not touching the bottom, but it's past the holes. Now we're going to take our top cap. So there we go. Wicks are hanging down. Wicks are hanging down. Now we're going to go ahead and slide this open. We're going to close off our airflow while we fill it to try and prevent, get the juice off my hands, to try and prevent leaking. So we want to make sure, my hands are still wet. There's your airflow. We want to make sure the airflow is closed off while we fill. Close it up. I don't want to waste a lot of time with that. Clean off whatever juice got on the outside. So the tank looks nice and clean. Open up our airflow. And there we go. Let's go back up and try vaping on it. Alright, first of all, apologize. Looking at the video afterwards, it really looked very grainy. I don't know why. I've had this about a month now, maybe 3 weeks. And I recorded that video when I first got it, first opened it. And just looking at that video now, it just looked really bad to me, kind of grainy. I don't know why. Maybe the camera just was detecting it was low light or something. I don't know. So apologize about that. But let's talk about the tank, which is what really counts. First of all, machining on this thing is beautiful. Really nice machining. I don't know if you'll be able to see it here, but it just looks like a really nice quality. The metal is nice. Everything about it is just really sharp, nice edges. They just did a really good job with that. All right, they really put good quality into it. As for mouth to lung, the reason I said that in the beginning, there's different kinds of mouth to lung. There's this kind of mouth to lung, okay, like a pod type system, which is what I really consider a real mouth to lung. There's this kind of stuff where it's definitely not mouth to lung, it's definitely direct lung. And this is somewhere in between. Now, of course, they're promoting this as a mouth to lung type tank. This is what Phil Busardo vapes, mainly, my understanding. But this is kind of in between. You know, it's a mouth to lung in that you can mouth to lung it, but you could also direct lung it, all right? You can direct lung this. And I didn't put a lot of vapor into that, but I have it on low wattage. Or you could mouth lung it. You can vape it either way, and I got the air holes down to one hole on there. so it's a little tight. But if you open this up, you really could restrictive lung hit this. All right, now I've got that same build in there, the same single coil. It's coming out to a 0.96. I'm vaping it on this Sigelli J150 at 28 watts. If you can see that. And it's a nice vape. I got some banana bondage in here that I mixed up from some Adore liquid concentrate. And it's really nice. You can see the wicks coming down just a little bit below there. And it's a really nice tank. It's a nice single coil. It's a nice almost 1 ohm vape. But I wouldn't really call it a real mouth to lung. If you want mouth to lung, go with a pod system if you want something similar to a cigarette. If you want something that's in between mouth to lung, again, there's like almost different levels of it, then it's a winner. It's not as restrictive as they say. You can make it that restrictive. You can put a higher end coil in there, really dial down that airflow. You know, you got these nice, like the old style tip on there, which I had on there for a while, which is what we used to use in the real mouth to lung kind of days, where it was really restrictive hits. You really got that throat hit, you know, depending what you were vaping. But you know, that was the old school style. I probably still have. I mean, look at these things. This is called the Viva Nova tank. I don't know if anybody remembers these kind of things. This was a coil tank, but you can see. Let's see if I can get it to the airflow hole right. The way this worked, come on, see that airflow hole? All right, and then when you turn it to the next, that's all the airflow, by the way. One hole, okay? And then you turn to the next one. I'll go down 2, and you can see it's a smaller hole, okay? This was real mouth to lung days. This is the mouth to lung of 2017, 2018. It's a nice tank. It's made well. Flavor's good. I might put a different coil. I would probably end up using this with a different coil, maybe a 0.5 ohm, and just enjoying it as a regular tank, regular single coil, higher resistance, sub-ohm tank, more than this 1 ohm single wrap, you know, it's not single wrap, but, you know, round coil build, round build. Boy, man, I'm off today. Sorry, it's been a long weekend and Super Bowl Sunday tonight. So you know, I'm trying to. I'm gonna end up taking a nap so I can stay up late to watch that. Not that I'm much into that, but back to the tank. I know I'm blathering on here. The tank is good, nice quality, good, solid tank. Just don't think of it as a restrictive, you know, a mouth to lung hit like in the old days. It is not that kind of mouth to lung hit. If you want that, you go with a pod system today. That's a mouth to lung hit, okay, with high nicotine. This is more of a restrictive direct lung hit. It's a nice tank. The quality is good. It's made solid. It really works well. Zero leaking on this thing. I've never had a problem leaking in the 3 to 4 weeks I've been using it. I've really given this a good thorough testing, using it for a long time, on and off. It's been on my table and I keep going back to it because it's not my favorite choice of type of vape style for me. But it's working well. If you're looking for something that fits the description of what I just blathered on and described to you, it's definitely a winner. It's definitely a good, solid, nice tank, and I'm happy with it for what it is. It's a great tank. In between mouth to lung. That's what I'm calling it. There you go. Thank you very much. Check it out. I'm not sure what the price is going for right now. I haven't looked it up. Let's see if I can look it up for you real quick. Because when I ordered mine, I pre-ordered it and it took forever to get it from. Again, let's see. My Vapor Store has it now. My Vapor Store is one of my favorite places to buy things. $35.99. A little bit on the pricey side, but again, you're getting excellent machining quality on there. Really very impressed with it. Very nice threads. Very nice all around. Never a leaking problem. There you go. I'm not saying it again. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Have a good night.